Lonely 82-year-old goes over to new neighbor's house, but little did they both know what was coming next. Shireen Caraballo was 32 with 5 children when she moved from Texas to Pawtucket, Rhode Island. She was nervous but excited to start a new chapter in her life and was praying her new neighborhood would be welcoming to her and her children. And to her relief, everyone was. Their neighbors welcomed them with open arms. But there was one neighbor in particular who would catch Shireen's eye, and when he came over to say hello, they both would never have imagined what would happen next. Paul Callahan, who was 82, broke the ice with his new neighbors when he lent them a ladder, and then soon he was coming over with other tools to lend, and would even offer advice on how to use them. Paul was so friendly and charming that the more the young mother spoke to him, the more she got to know. And that's when Shireen would learn the real reason why Paul kept popping by. After having a meaningful conversation, the mother learned Paul had taken a liking to her and her family because it turned out his wife had died 6 months before the Callahans had moved in, and he was the last of his siblings alive. Paul was simply extremely lonely. He was also a very social person, as he had grown up around lots of kids, and liked that Shireen had such a big family. Touched by his story, Shireen felt a pang in her heart. You see, she, her husband Wilson, and their children all truly loved Paul and his company already, and so they decided they would bring him even closer to their family. They began to invite him to family gatherings and barbecues, and even gave him an outfit for Father's Day. The children call him Uncle Paul and enjoy the stories he regularly tells. And now the 82-year-old widow is no longer lonely as to him, and the Caraballos, he is their honorary grandpa, and now part of the family.
This is Wilson and Shireen and their 5 beautiful children. They recently moved into a brand new neighborhood in a very unfamiliar part of town, and that worried them a bit. They weren't sure how their neighbors would receive the fact that their family moved into the neighborhood. But nonetheless, they bought a beautiful home, got settled in, and began building their life in this new neighborhood. This is Paul Callahan. He is one of the first neighbors that they encountered once they moved in. Like I said, they were a little bit uneasy, they weren't sure, and then they met Paul. And surprisingly enough, to them, Paul was very friendly and very cordial and very warm and welcoming them into the neighborhood. And Paul and the husband actually formed a bond and a relationship. He would come over and help the husband with certain projects, and it was all good. Then suddenly, Paul's wife passed away, and he was heartbroken and he was distraught. And at that point, it was just him living alone. So, what the family did is they pretty much rallied around Paul. They embraced him, the kids embraced him, and they considered themselves adopting Paul. And the kids could now call him Uncle Paul. And they have truly embraced him as a member of their family. And he comes over for meals, he hangs out with the kids. He is literally a big part of the kids' upbringing at this point, and they just love hanging out with Uncle Paul. And what I love about this story the most is that a lot of times we're painted the picture of so much division, but I truly think we are more united than people would like to believe. And also, what I love about this is the fact that hate is clearly taught. Bottom line, no one is put here on this planet hating another person. And this embrace between the family and Uncle Paul, man, I love it so much. It truly brightened my day. So I just wanted to pass this story along, hopefully add a little bit of sunshine to your day.